Hey guys, this is JZNES here, and I'm doing something a little bit different this week and any other week when these top 3 Tuesdays actually appeal to my interests. And I thought I had to give my opinion. I was going to do this last week, and then he did top 3 arcade games that never got ported. I don't know much about arcade games, so that's not really my forte, but yeah, I can definitely do top 3 Mega Man games, man. But yeah, so for those who don't know, I'm a big fan of Michael B, the Game Genie. This guy did this complete collection NES Chronicles videos. When I was doing my complete collection, he inspired me to kind of make my own journal about the NES so I can chronicle my progress as well. So I just thought those videos were great. I was going to do a video series, and then I found out that he was doing it, so I was like, well, somebody already did this, so I want to be original now. Essentially what he does is every Tuesday now, he's brought back this thing from his friends where every Tuesday he ranks a certain thing. Like today it's top 3 Mega Man games. So I figured I could give a pretty unique perspective on this because I'm a little bit of a younger guy, and I got some different opinions on these top 3 Mega Man games. Now I know you're probably thinking like top 3 Mega Man like main series games, but my answers aren't necessarily going to be the main series. One of them is, but the other 2 are not. So hopefully that's okay. But yeah, so just thanks for Michael B, the Game Genie, for coming up with this, bringing back this concept. I mean, it's cool to have video responses, but not in a sense like you're obviously not, there's no video responses left. But anyways, so without any further ado, let's get into it. I'll be doing this whenever it strikes my fancy, I suppose. So, and definitely top 3 Mega Man games strike my fancy. So I would say, for me, at number 3 is what everyone and Michael B, the Game Genie, considers number 1 would be Mega Man 2. I think Mega Man 2 is the best of the Mega Man NES games. I mean, that's a huge surprise. Obviously, everyone knows how great it is. I mean, it's one of my favorite games on NES, and I'm going for full NES sets. I mean, that's saying a lot, obviously, but it's not, it's everyone's choice for like number 1 or whatnot, and I think it's great. Yeah, so what can I say about Mega Man 2? I mean, the music is amazing. The boss powers are better and bigger than the first one. I mean, I thought the first one was great. Everyone doesn't really like the first one, but I thought the first one was great, and then they just built upon that with the second one. Everything is bigger. Everything's better. It's an easier of the games, unless you choose the harder mode, which is still pretty easy comparatively to some of the other ones. But it's just a great game, and it's just classic side-scrolling like action. All the robot masters are classic, and you got things like the Megas, who like did this whole cover and made a whole story for it through song. It's like a rock opera. Shit's awesome, like it's just so classic. When I think NES, of course, one of the first things I think is Mega Man, and one of the first things I think is obviously Mega Man 2. So I mean, it's great. It was one of the games that made Mega Man so successful in the first place was Mega Man 2, because without Mega Man 2, I mean, just having one with that terrible box art and everything, I don't know if Mega Man would have really survived. It might have just been like Power Blade or like Shatterhand or something, like where it's just some kind of hidden gem on the NES or whatnot, nowadays. But nope, it became a huge killer franchise, and Capcom really got their feet off the ground, and I'm glad they did, because the next 2 games that I'm going to talk about definitely wouldn't exist if Mega Man 2 didn't do so well. So then, so there's Mega Man 2, and I didn't really play that until later on in my life, but right into my 20s here now, where I'm at now. But I was like 5 or so years ago when I first got my NES, but anyway, because I did all the Mega Man games back then, I just went straight through all of them. My experience with Mega Man personally comes from 2 other games. One of them being when I first got my Game Boy Advance. The first game I got was I got Super Mario World. Obviously, I had to get that, and then I also got Mega Man Battle Network 3. I got Battle Network 1, which was like new at the time, and because I got my Game Boy Advance like in the year that it came out or whatever. The Mega Man Battle Network 1, and I didn't really know what to expect. I thought it was kind of going to be like a side-scroller sort of thing, and then I knew it was like had something to do with the internet or something, and I was like, oh, okay, it's Mega Man. I wanted to get in on that hype, but it turned out to be something completely different. Like, the best way to describe it is it's almost like an RPG crossed with like a card game, where it's like a tactical game when you're in the battles too. It's completely unique series. I've never seen anything like it, but growing up like that, I was about Land's age when I was playing those games, and the story was just really engaging, and I thought those games were great. So yeah, I played the first one. The first one was really tough, though. I mean, I don't know if I ever got through that as a kid, but anyways, and then at some point I ended up getting the one that's actually I'm actually putting on the list here, Mega Man Battle Network 3. I never had the second one. My friend always had the second one, but Mega Man Battle Network 3 is something that it's close. It's probably in my top 20 games for sure of all time, because I just love that game. Like, the story is great, and they took some of the most classic like Robot Masters and threw it in there, and the game just has like this I can't even explain it. It's like it's got so much to do, all these side quests and stuff, and like the internet is huge in that game. You could just go all over the place, and theming and like the different areas of the internet, and like the undernet was awesome. Like, it's just, I think out of the Mega Man Battle Network games, it's like the definitive one that you put it in front of somebody and be like, hey, this is the one. You got to try this, But if I had my way, I mean, I'd have them start from the beginning and just skip 2, because 2 is terrible in my opinion. It's decent, but it's very, very challenging, which it's to a frustrating degree. But yeah, number 3 is just, it's the perfect balance of all the other games. I feel like 1 started something good, and then 2 kind of screwed that up, but it was like this typical sequel. Maybe not in Mega Man case, because Mega Man 2 was like amazing, but 2 is kind of this typical sequel. And then they had 3 was the perfect game. It was the perfect one. They had all the right chips, and they had all the right characters were there, and just everything was perfect. And it was like the definitive adventure. And I always found the ones where Wily was the villain, those were always the best ones. So like 1, 3, and sorry, spoiler alert, 6 were some of the best ones. Where Wily was the villain, because I feel like that was the main story of the series. And then I liked 4 and 5 as well. 4 is not as good, but 5 was pretty unique. But anyway, yeah, so the main series 1, 3, and 6 of the Battle Network games tell the main story with the Wily arc, and I think those are definitely the best. And 3 is right in the middle, and that's definitely, it's like so if there's Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, like 1 was the the kind of flawed like original, but like a lot of people liked it kind of thing. And then you have Mega Man 2, like everyone like obviously loves that one and thinks it's the best one, which I agree. On the NES, I would say that is the best one. And then, like 3 is also debated to be the best one by a lot of other people, so those are like the holy trinity there of NES Mega Man games. These are the like 1, 3, and 6 are the best Battle Network games. Like, they're the main story of the series, and you miss a little bit if you don't like play the other games, but it's very slight, so not a big deal. But anyways, I just think that it's the most balanced of the three games, is Mega Man Battle Network 3, that is, and the 2 versions. And I usually play blue version, but there's a white version too, and there's different exclusive chips, kind of like on Pokemon where there's different exclusive Pokemon. But yeah, Mega Man Battle Network 3 is definitely something that I played a shit ton of back in the day, and it's a reason to own a Game Boy Advance in my opinion. I definitely love that, and the whole Mega Man Battle Network series is completely underrated, and I'll get into that sometime as well. And then my number 1 answer is definitely another nostalgic answer, but a good one. Not that nostalgia can't mean good as well. I mean, these are just games I grew up with, but I think they're still really good games. I don't mean to imply nostalgic as, hey, this is just good because I remember it being good. I play these games constantly, like, you know, throughout the years again, and they still hold up after all this time. But my favorite is maybe a controversial choice a little bit, but Mega Man Legends, but not Mega Man Legends particularly, Mega Man 64, the often seen as the gimped port of Mega Man Legends. But you know, other than that, what do you call it, the roller skate like challenge or whatever, I think it's a really good port of that game. You know, I've never actually played the PlayStation version, so maybe that's my problem. But yeah, back in the day, I grew up with the N64. It's the first system I ever bought with my own money. Like, I had the Game Boy Color, and my brother had a bunch of systems. But this is back when N64, you could still go to a GameStop and buy brand new N64 games and a 64 system for like $40. And I got this game. So I got my system, my N64. I think I got Ocarina of Time, like maybe first or second, obviously, and that was great, and I loved it. But Mega Man 64 was another choice I went out on a limb with, because it was kind of like my Mega Man Battle Network story. I kind of wanted to see what was with this new Mega Man game, because I'd always loved Mega Man. I don't know why. I'd never really played any of the games, but it always stuck with me. But anyways, so I got Mega Man 64, which is a port now of Mega Man Legends, which is for PS1, and it's just this great like adventure game. And you kind of you go underground and you go in through all these dungeons, which are like digging sites or whatever underground, and you get to find out about this Reaver bots and kind of their history. And while you're trying to fight off the Bonds, who are like these, I don't even know how to describe them. They're like these air pirates. Like they have these ships that go in the air, and they're trying to steal like this thing called the Mother Lode. It's just like this epic story that never really gets resolved because there's no Mega Man Legends 3. But anyways, I mean, just it's still a really epic story. And you know, by the end of the game, you get the feels and whatnot. You get so attached to all these little characters on the island and whatever, and it's just fun to like run around and do all the side quests and stuff. But I think what's so unique about it is you go in this one, you kind of go into the dungeons, and that's how you find your weapons. And you just you bring roll scattered parts, like let's say you get a broken vacuum cleaner, and you like give this other thing to her, and then now you've got a gun to suck in all of the gems that, you know, are around there to get your Zenny to have money to buy other parts and stuff. And then there's also little power-ups and whatnot that are like an upgrade system. And some of the bosses are just massive, and they're awesome to take down. And some of the weapons are really fun. And I think the game is great, and I think the story and like the intrigue behind some of the enemies and the bosses and stuff is just great. And the Bonds, the Bonds, especially Tron Bond, are like classic villains to me, like, because I grew up with that, obviously, with the N64 there and Mega Man 64. Yeah, the Bonds are like classic, you know, and their theme, like, you know, is great, and I love them. And every time I play Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or 2, really, even for that matter, I'll choose Tron Bond. She's like one of my main ones because she's a tank. But anyways, that's for another time, that discussion. But yeah, I love Mega Man 64. I think it's definitely my favorite Mega Man game. I dust it off every, you know, year or two and just go through it. I don't even really need a walkthrough. I know like every little inch of the game. It's fantastic. I love it. I can always play it and have a great time with it. So maybe those aren't the answers that most people were expecting of me, and well, maybe of me, but of top 3 Mega Man games, right? But that's what I got for you. You know, those are my top 3, and hopefully that'll make for a unique video. I know there's going to probably be a lot of responses to the top 3 Mega Man games, but I'm going to definitely try to respond to any of these videos where I can actually do a video for sure. And this is one I can definitely talk, as you can see, on for quite a while. So thanks for watching, and you guys have yourself a great day, and keep it classic and stick around for more reviews and underrated games. Thanks. See ya.